Hey guys, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn 101. This episode, very quickly going to talk about limit breaks. While Square Enix has put out a video showing limit breaks, there isn't much information about there to some people on how to actually activate them. So I'm going to quickly show over how to add it to your hotbar and what each of the limit breaks do, when they're most useful, and just going to talk about a few things in general with them. So first, how to add limit breaks to your hotbar, because a lot of people say, okay, my limit break gauge is full, how do I use it? Well, it's in your action and traits menu. It's actually, in general, it should be the third or fourth one, depending on how many abilities you have unlocked. But it's right there, and all you have to do is drag it onto your hotbar and select it when your limit break gauge is full. Now, one thing you might want to mention, limit break is your entire party's limit break. As you can read here, spend energy stored in your party's limit gauge. This means that when you use your limit break, it will use the entire party's limit gauge, and other players will be unable to do it. So you really want to commune what limit break you're trying to use in the group, because otherwise somebody might use the wrong one and you might have needed one for a specific phase of the fight. It just has to be communicated with the entire group. So once you've got the limit break gauge, once you push this, you're going to push the button, you're going to do a limit break. But what does each limit break essentially do? Well, if you're a tank, such as a warrior or a paladin, it will increase your party's defense. Now, it only says defense, it doesn't say magic defense, but it'll essentially do that for your whole party for a short period of time. Very simple. Don't really need to explain anything more about that. Just it's a very like mitigation based limit break. Next, you have the melee one, which is a single target attack. This is obviously only available to dragoons and monks, and it will essentially burst down your target. This is very good in the lower level dungeons where certain bosses enter a phase at some point where you have to burst them down before you get overwhelmed. Unless there's monsters that when you kill them, they will never come back again. This is very useful for fights such as the last boss in Copperbell Mines, or even the last boss in any dungeon really, especially in what's it called? We'll just go with Copperbell Mines. That's where it's most useful. Now, so there's some controversy with this because Monk gets Final Heaven from Final Fantasy VII. Tifa's thing makes sense. Currently in the beta, it doesn't reflect that. Currently in the beta, they get Braver and Sword Dance, Cloud's limit breaks. But we have seen in the video they do have Final Heaven planned at least. Maybe the first two levels aren't going to be Tifa-specific ones. Who knows? But Dragoon gets Omni Slash as their level 3. And this has stirred up a bit of controversy because they use a lance, Cloud uses a sword. Doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't personally bother me. Omni Slash is in the game. That's all you need to know. Next, you have the caster one. This will apply to black mages and summoners. Now, this is simply an area of an effect attack. Now, when you activate this, it must be noted that unlike the melee one where you need to have a target selected, the tank one and the healer one, which you don't need to have a target selected, this one will actually require you to place an icon on the ground. Now, if you've played Bard, you'll know that they have Flaming Shot where you can do a placement cell. You can designate the area you want it to hit. You'll need to do this, and essentially, if you're on a PC, you'll simply drag your mouse over and confirm. If you're on the PlayStation 3 controller, I believe you have to use your right analog stick to aim it. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done too much testing, but you will have to place this spell somewhere. And the summoner one is most likely Astral Flow. It's a Final Fantasy XI staple, and it allows your pet to do his ultimate ability, which Ifrit would be Hellfire, Shiva would be Diamond Dust, Garuda would be Howling Blast, Leviathan, Tidal Wave, things like that. Very, very flashy looking abilities. And finally, the last bit of controversy in limit break comes from the healer and range limit break, which is HP restoration, but it's a raise at level 3. We can assume that this is on a single target, because if this is an AoE raise on the whole raid, it's going to throw balance off completely, because everyone's just going to save a level 3 limit break for that. What the problem is here is that some people are saying it's unfair that Bard, which is primarily DPS with some support features such as their songs, that they have this HP restoration ones when they should probably have one that does damage. And I'm neutral about it because it makes sense, and it might be useful to have someone who's not a healer able to use it in case your healers are kind of tied up with something at the moment. But at the same time, it makes sense. They do attack the boss constantly. It makes sense for Scholar and White Mage, not so much for Bard. I'll side with the people saying they should get a new limit break. And that's all there really is to limit breaks. There's not too much to it. Now, the last thing you might need to know is that on regular groups, your limit break gauge will only ever fill to 1 bar. On bosses, lower level, it'll fill to 2. On end game raid bosses, the final boss, you will be able to get a level 3 limit break. So the level 3 limit break will not be available for every boss. It'll only be available in select circumstances and select bosses. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, if you found this video useful, please like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Share if you have a friend who's wondering about the limit breaks, and subscribe if you can't wait to see a video about each of them. Obviously, I've included some screenshots here, but that's nothing too fancy, and I don't have one of all of them, so what can you do, really? So, also, I want to thank my subscribers for your donations. If you would like to donate to help ensure that I can keep putting these videos out at a regular pace and to improve the quality by helping me purchase equipment for my stream, please check in the description below. I have a donate link and an Amazon wish list of things I'm currently trying to work on to better my YouTube channel. Finally, if you do, actually not finally, I also do a charity stream with Athene Live. Those of you may know him. He's a pretty popular League of Legends and World of Warcraft player. We do a charity fund for Save the Children, where every subscription on Twitch, 90% of that gets donated directly to the foundation. Twitch doesn't take any, Athene doesn't take any. Only PayPal takes 10% because, you know, PayPal. And sometimes people don't like to really go through the whole subscription process. So if you'd like to donate directly to me, put in the comments that you want me to donate to Athene. I'll take care of that for you. If not, head right over to his Twitch channel and just subscribe whenever you can. And if you don't want to donate any of those things, you know, money to charity, money to, you know, my Amazon wish list so I can get better equipment, go check out my Facebook and donate your ideas at www.facebook.com/MrHappy1227. There's a link in the description below. It's a group of about 500 people who like to get together and maturely discuss aspects of the game. You can pick my brain over there to ask me questions, give me video ideas. It's just a very nice group of people, and I think you'll have fun there. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was useful. Till next time, take care.